The National Telecommunications Commission has officially named Mislatel Consortium as the country's new major player in the telecom industry. All the company's submitted documents are complete, valid, and in order, the NTC says, and Mislatel should soon be competing with Globe and PLDT Smart in a tight Philippine telco market. Mislatel is a consortium made up of Udena Corp, owned by Davao-based businessman Dennis Uy, and China Telecoms. The firm was declared as the provisional new major player after the initial evaluation stage last November 7. Mislatel will now undergo a 90-day post-evaluation stage before they get the mobile frequencies and the certificate of public convenience and necessity.
Kaya kung lumampas sila sa 90 days, then they might be disqualified also. Because yun lang ang timeline na binigay sa kanila. Unless they request for extension or something like that na mag-grant ng NTC in bank. But I'm sure with the way things are going now, talagang bilisan nila ang pagkuha ng CPCN nila at mga frequencies nila.
Joining us from the TV5 newsroom is Bim Santos of One News, who covered NTC's announcement. Bim, what exactly happens during the 90-day post-qualification stage?
Well, Mislatel basically needs to secure a number of permits. They would need to secure approvals from PCC, NEDA, as well as Congress. And in addition, they also need to incorporate this consortium. Also, they need to submit a detailed rollout plan for their 5-year commitment. Remember that when they submitted their submission package, Mislatel mainly presented a list of commitments for a 5-year rollout. Now, for this 90-day post-qual stage, they need to submit to NTC a more detailed plan on how they plan to go about and live up to their commitments. And also, in addition, they also need to post performance security, which amounts to 10% of their 5-year capex, which upon the commitment of Mislatel at 257 billion, basically amounts to 25.7 billion. Robbie?
Okay, Bim, a big question on a lot of consumers' minds. When can they finally feel Mislatel's service?
So, accounting for the 90-day post-qualification stage, assuming that Mislatel tops up that 90-day stage, which will end on February, only then could this consortium actually receive the frequencies as well as the CPCN or the Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity, which basically green lights the rollout of their or the start of their commercial operations. So if they start the rollout plan in February, this means that for a telco, an initial spade work in terms of securing additional permits, in terms of where they plan to put up the towers, interfacing with the respective LGUs, and accounting for the usual bureaucratic process that they all need to go through. The most optimistic scenario that that NTC as well as Mislatel said is that most probably at the middle of next year, which is mid-2019.
Okay, now, Bim, we know you got to talk with officials of Mislatel. Did the company comment on questions about national security? As you know, some legislators have expressed concern given that Mislatel's foreign partner is a Chinese state-owned entity. We're referring, of course, to China Telecom. Did they say anything about this?
Yes, earlier today, right after the conferment of the confirmation order, Udena spokesperson Adel Tamano was there to give a few statements to the media, and he did comment on these two things, primarily on the closeness of Dennis Uy, who owns Udena, to President Duterte, as well as the security concerns that's arising from a foreign entity being a partner of a local telco operator. Basically, he said that there's nothing to worry about with respect to the closeness. Of course, he said that the selection process was fair and transparent, and with respect to the security concerns, he said that this is something that they would not permit. It was also noted that A member of the Oversight Committee is NSA Advisor Hermogenes Esperon. But of course, I would let, we could also, if you could let Attorney Tamano speak for himself. This is what he said earlier in response to those queries. If you could play that soundbite.
And anyone who knows President Duterte, he is not the type of person who will give personal favors for commercial transactions. That's number one. Number two, this whole process of selecting an NMP has been so transparent, has been so fair.
Okay, thank you very much, Bim Santos, reporting from the TV5 newsroom.